Structural Thinking Designing Your Problem. This is an article by me, Chandan. I have written this after going a workshop on structural thinking, wherein they are defining the ways to define the problem statement. The idea of the entire workshop was to identify different ways we can define the problem statement because once you define the problem statement, it basically tells your brain that how do you want to solutionize it. Okay, the whole thing start from this line. It isn't that you can't see the solution, it is that you can't see the problem. Okay, I start by defining the problem statement. So there are multiple ways to solutionize a problem, and defining a problem statement can totally change the way you want to solve it. And let's see how many ways we can define the problem. One of the examples which I given here is how do I spend my time in the lockdown? Because I have written this article in the lockdown time. This is very old article, I would say. The example is given basically from that. So the question is, how do I spend my time in lockdown? This is one of the problem statement for me. And let us take some time to think of the problem in many different ways. As you can just pause for a moment, you can pause the video also and try to create different problem statements out of this line. How do I spend my time in the lockdown? Try writing down your own problems. You might have already seen this. You can create more. Okay. You can pause, create your, and then resume it. Okay. I hope you have resumed the video. Now, here are the problem statement that I have figured out at that time. Okay. How do I learn new things during the time I have in the lockdown? This is one of the positive, progressive way of taking the time in the lockdown. Okay. What are the new skills that I should develop in this lockdown? How do I prepare for the situation that will come after the lockdown? How do I spend this lockdown time with my family effectively? How can I help others in this lockdown? So these are the different problem statement, and overall if you see, this is the part of you can maybe break down the this problem statement in multiple ways, and that are these, and they are the one defining solution. Now, what are the problem statement that you have come up with, right? You might have seen something relatable or something very different, but the problem statement may derive, the solution may be very different from the actual problem statement. I hope you have written down some of the problem statement. Okay. As you can now see, now we have a lot of different views on the same problem statement. And we have many solutions for the same statement. Okay. How you define the problem is a crucial step in a way of solving, and we often miss this part to be real. Okay. In general, we do that. The below image, this image actually shows about the product owner or one of the requirement and how people do understand this. From the first image till the last image, you see the ask is to um, just get a comfortable seat um, on a tree. Okay, and then looking at the problem, you may find different ways of solutionizing it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, and all of these you see some different solution, and all of these are solutions to the problem, right? But at the end, you might find a very obvious solutions to the problem, right? For example, 11th and 12th that you see are a very simple problem, and you may find some very uh, different approaches also, right? Like the fifth image we see here. So all of it being solution for the same problem in a different ways. Okay, you can make it complex, you can make it simple, you can make it say this is impossible, we can't do it. So all of that defines the idea of how do you define the problem statement. For example, if I want to sit, how I want to sit on that. Do I want a comfortable or I want a time pass table? Do I really want to have that? Is it comfortable? Is it a good idea to even have that thing? Why I want to sit at that place? Different ways. Now, let us come up with an example of building owner. Okay, so this is a very interesting example that is given in the workshop itself. So, the problem statement says that I'll also highlight this. This is interesting. So, a building owner was asked to change the lift in the building by the resident of the buildings because of the reason that they were feeling it. Okay, I'll not read, I'll just read it through you. So, basically, there is a society, okay, and there is a lift in that. And people are feeling that the lift is very slow when they go from the first floor till the 10th floor. They see it very slow. Even the waiting area, they see it's very slow, and they had to wait a lot of time in the waiting area. And building owner knows this problem, but he doesn't have money to solve this, make the lift cleaner or change it. Okay, so lift will work as is, but he needs some sort of solution, right? So people are saying lift is very slow. Okay, and the wait time is high. Now the owner has a unique idea to maybe postpone this problem eh, until he has the money. Okay. So what do you think the owner would have done in that case? Okay, guess it. And owner has placed a mirror in the waiting area and in the lift. That's what he did as a solution perspective because he had looked the problem from a different angle. He wanted to solve it in a way that people don't feel weighted when we are sorry when they are in waiting area. So for now he has put the mirrors in the waiting area so that people are not bored or some kind of, even in the nowadays if you go to airport you see at the luggage counter you see some screens running, right? So this is just to make people like busy in that time and they don't feel weighted, right? So that's a different way to hacky way to do. Eventually, the idea is to make it fast. Okay, that's the right solution. But until they have money, there has a different kind of solution. So you might have seen mirrors all over your lift places. It is there, and maybe you might have heard some music also in the lifts. They're all because of you don't feel weighted. Okay. So he identified that problem is not the lift being slow. The real problem is problem people are not willing to wait. Okay, simple. It worked for that time, and the complaint gets reduced drastically. So that's one of the examples, right? Now, uh, the main idea once you define the problem statement, um, there has to be some structured way of defining the problem, right? It can't every time happen that you have a problem statement and you come up with some alternate problems, right? So there is a process to it, right? How you can define different sets of problem based on your current problem statement. So the image that you see over here is in the center you have your main problem statement, and then you do three kind of thinking. You do backward thinking, you do forward thinking, and you do sideways thinking. And then I have explained all these three types of uh, problem solving skills or problem defining skills, I would say. So you think, oh, what was happening before the problem didn't exist? What will happen after the problem statement gets solved, or what I'm trying to achieve? And sideways thinking, wherein you try to define the related areas around the problem. So you define problem statement, all the three areas, and then you want to solutionize. This is how the big companies works in. This way of problem solving is defined as the McKinsey way of working, right? This is not something which I have built on top. This is defined and used by bigger companies. Range of thinking, how we can define the problem statement. This is very well defined uh, in the world of problem solving, I would say. Now, um, the example I have defined over there when I was working with the pandemic example. How should we prepare for pandemic situation? This is the backward thinking, though before even pandemic has came. How should I be handling pandemic situation? This is sideways. Once it happens, it happens. How do I overcome the loss that will happen due to the pandemic? Okay, this is post the loss has happened. So all these things came to the same example. These are not the right examples, I would say, but these are the similar examples you want to try to build it. In the summary, I would say be aware of the importance of the problem statement, as I said in the entire article. Budget enough time to state the problem rightly. Think about different ways of defining in the non-obvious ways, however. And overall, I say that be aware that you should not define the problem by keeping a solution in mind. It's very rare to get a crystal clear definition of a problem in one shot. So try defining it in many ways possible. And overall, I say again, thank you for reading it. I'll attach the article link in the video description. If you can go, if you want to go through it, go through it. Any comments, do let me know in the comment section. If you like the video, do subscribe the channel to get more of such videos. Thank you. Bye bye.